Okay, compared to that monster 4-hour stream yesterday, I remade the platters on both sides today based on the learnings from the first two that I made. And the final form is basically something that is light, stiff enough, and not super sticky. So the bottom piece is a piece of foam board. It's all laser cut, right? Foam board, which is real light. This is 5mm thick foam board that's got the same holes on the bottom as the alignment pins on the SL-DZ1200. And then on top of that, I glue on this 1/16 inch basswood. This is real thin, right? This is only a 1.5mm, right? So it's not super stiff, but it's stiff enough just to extend the support out to the edges here that I want for the vinyl, so that it only sticks out about 1/2 inch off the edges. And this, I glue these two together using Elmer's wood glue, right? Any white glue will work. Last layer on top of this, because this isn't quite enough height. I need a total of about 8mm of clearance in order to get above this strobe light here. So that's 5 plus 5. This is a little bit more than 5, right? This is like 5.5. So I've got 5.5 plus 1.5, right? That gives me 7. 5.5 plus 1.5, right? Is 7mm. And then I've got this guy, and this is 2mm EVA foam. The EVA foam has Easy Tack on one side, and it's got no video. No, there's video. Something's wrong on your end. I see video totally fine. No, there's video. Something. And then the last layer is 2mm EVA foam, and the foam has Easy Tack, which is like a repositionable adhesive. I might reapply something different, like tack it over and over, depending on how sticky it is. But I want it very not sticky, right? I only want it very lightly tacky. This is glued down to the matching board with white glue. And this is the stack now that gives me, that supports 12-inch vinyl and is light. And this top surface, this EVA foam, is flexible enough that it can stick, right? My big problem with yesterday's model, where I had thicker wood, is then the wood isn't completely flat, the disc isn't completely flat, and getting a surface then where I can only have the vinyl disc lightly tacked down wasn't possible, and I had to use the heavier duty double stick tape, right, which was undesirable. And so this is the stack now, and it's got plenty of clearance now because it's almost 9 millimeters. And what that lets me do is I can, because it's only lightly stuck down, I can take the disc off, swap it for another disc, right? Of course, purely for cosmetic purposes, because it's not reading the disc, right? And then I can put it back down, and then sticking it back down with the Easy Tack. I don't even need to push it down this much, just the OCD. This is plenty of tack now for this to not slip. and it's light. And the other thing I found is there has to be felt, and the different felts in that slip ring are different. The best, at least from what Michaels had, I bought all of the stuff from Michaels. And this stuff is like, it's like real cheap. It's like 39 cents, $1.29 a board. Real cheap at Michaels. Stuff at Michaels, just individual pieces of craft, just the right stuff, is just really, really cheap. Oh, last thing, when I put this back down onto the platter, I use a little bit of this repositionable adhesive on the bottom. So also no super sticky stuff. I want to be able to get it off without totally mangling the board like this one did. This one I used the stronger 3M transfer tape, and it was like impossible to get this off without totally mangling it. So now that's for demo purposes only. And that provides just a little bit of sticky support onto the actual platters. And then I have to use felt on the bottoms, and then that's all. Felt as the interface. So I can't use the original slip interface that I covered in a previous video. And the action now is just very, very smooth. And since I'm not using the CD player, everything's off of SD, it's real quiet. It hardly makes any noise because the SL-1200 direct drive mechanism is very, very quiet. It makes like no sound. The spindle here makes no sound. There's no CD player, so there's no sound. There's no needle, so there's no sound, right? It's very smooth and extremely silent. And then I finally got the batch of like the 1 gig SD cards, right? The exotic, super old 1 gig SD cards using Panasonic's exotic CD SD card writer and exotic encrypted software toolpath. And I have now timecode for 2 timecode SDs for all of the major types. So I've got tractor timecode in there now. They're all like 10 hours of continuous timecode. And then I've got 2 record boxes and 2 Seratos and 2 virtual DJs. I don't have anything that can launch Serato yet. I did find a Serato DVS unlocking low-end used kind of worn mixer for a decent price over the weekend, and I did order it. That should get here on Friday, and then I'll be able to do a side-by-side comparison of DVS across all major types. But as an example, we switch back to kind of a more normal scratch track, right? So this is the one that I just got from Japan on Tuesday. That was $190 because it was slightly busted. And I can try on this hand. Master tempo turned on? Why can't I even see if master tempo is turned on? And Tractor's tracking is pretty good. It doesn't lose until I get pretty slow. All right, now you can see that my hand is moving, but there's no sound. Right, so I'm moving at below tracking speed now. But it recovers its absolute position pretty well, right? Because I have an arrow here, and it's pointing here at this real-time rec, and that's at the beginning of the track. And I move real slow, and now we're not hearing any sound. So in theory, I've lost a quarter turn, but there's absolute encoding on it too. And so Tractor is able to, it's not able to track relative, but it restored the position based on the absolute information. So I'm still aligned here. And this is pretty good. Rekordbox doesn't do this. Rekordbox is pure relative mode, absolute mode, and if it's in absolute mode, then the time code of the track is the time in the song where you're at, which is kind of weird. Which is, I mean, it's not weird, needle drop tricks or whatever, right? Which I can't do needle drop tricks on this because there's no needle. I can't just jump to any random point. But where the smoothness of the action really comes in is if I try something like this, which I'm terrible at, right? The whole point of this is just to demonstrate the feel. I'm not a beat juggler. I can't possibly manipulate the crossfader at the same time. And doing it this way, once I'm slipping, the platters do feel very light. So like when I've seen other people do this, they're just seemingly flinging these discs as if they were just like incredibly light. It reminds me, watching people do this reminds me of like tossing frisbees. Why is there no... Hold on a second here. Why are deck 4 and 5 like so zoomed in? Go, okay. Deck, how do I show... Trying to see how fast I can go and still have that opening be normal and not slow or accelerated. Oh, that's pretty fun. Okay. Whew, okay, I got to do a lot more non-dominant hand practice, but I got to go check something right now. So I am done for today. Thank you for watching.